Good morning, friends. Happy Monday. 1 week before the big day. I'm happy to be coming at you with today's Mindfulness Monday chat. So, today on Mindfulness Monday, with Jen here from Pause 23, the purple and gray haired Nana of the internet, I want to talk about the difference between living in our headspace and living in our body. So many of us get wrapped up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life, even when it's not the holidays, but even more so at the holidays. And living in our head means that we are preoccupied with our thoughts, we are preoccupied with our worries, and we can't control that mental chatter that's going on that is pulling us in all directions, and it is telling us we need to do all these things or be all these things that maybe we're not. And so being mindful of this, I want to point out the differences between living in our headspace and actually living in our body. So when I say living in our body, what I mean is that we are paying more attention to our physical sensations. We're paying more attention to those gut instincts. We're paying more attention to what feels good and what doesn't feel so good in our lives and in our body. But we're not ruminating on, we're not going over and over again about the thoughts. We are just simply living and existing in our body, taking note of what's happening. We're being aware of our emotions. We're learning to properly identify our emotions, which is huge. That's a big thing. Check out me on YouTube, my YouTube video on identifying our emotions. And our ability to stay present in the moment. That is what the difference is between living in our heads and living in our bodies. So it's far too easy to just get wrapped up, get caught up in the everyday life and not really focus on what our emotions are telling us, what we're actually feeling, and what works for our bodies. So if we can take some time every day to practice being mindful, and not having a full mind, but actually being mindful of what is happening in our body and in our worlds around us, that will help us get a little better control over what we are responding to, what we are reacting to, and it's going to give us a little bit more time to just be okay in ourselves, to sit with ourselves, to stop the excessive rumination, going over situations that might happen or did happen, things that we can't control, and they just spiral and we lose sight of everything around us because we're so fixated on this one thing that is just destroying us. So those type of actions, that can lead to anxiety, it can lead to stress, it can lead to just unhealthy attachments. We lose connection with ourselves and we just struggle. Okay, so that's living in the headspace, and that's not being mindful. So by being mindful, we're more paying attention to our body, what feels good, what's working with us, what we need to let go of that we can't control, and how to manage that. And so how do we do this? Again, how do we bring this mindfulness practice back into our body? Because it is a practice. It does take time. If it's not something you're aware of or that you do often, it is going to take you some time to get used to it, and it does have to become a lifelong practice, this mindfulness and putting yourself first and learning to recognize your emotions. So how do you do this? We can do it through grounding. We can take note of things that are around us, use our senses, use our eyes to look around. Oh, you know what, there's a tree. Oh, look at the sky. Oh, look at the birds. What is around you? Look at your kids playing. Look at your spouse. Look at the people that are in your actual space. Okay, be present with them. You can do mindful eating, being mindful of what's going into your mouth, actually taking note and enjoying every flavor, enjoying every little morsel of food that goes in, rather than just inhaling it and not even realizing that you've taken the time to eat. So that's part of mindfulness, mindful eating, and it is taking stock, taking note of what your bodies are telling you. Okay, and that is something that a lot of us, I think, fear because we don't want to sit with those emotions. They're emotions, guys. They're there. They can destroy you, or you can learn to accept them and how to focus on them and how to healthily let them go and take whatever you need from those emotions that is going to help you move forward. Okay, and when you're doing all of this, it's so important, folks, to do it with kindness, to do it with compassion, to do it without judgment. Okay, so no judging yourself, no judging others. Okay, everybody has different things going on. So if we can be mindful, if we can treat ourselves with compassion and kindness, it is so much easier for us to portray that and to share that with others too. And really, that's what we need to do, is share compassion, share kindness, be mindful, be in the moment. All right, that is what this Monday message is for. Just making sure I didn't miss any notes there. So we are almost at the end of the year. We are 1 week away from Christmas. So the Mindfulness Mondays and the Fearless Fridays are finished for the year. They will be back in the new year. We've got some great stuff planned for the new year. So if you're not following me on YouTube, it's Pause23. Please go subscribe to my channel. I'm on Spotify as well, Instagram and Facebook as Pause23, and we are digging into some real life crap coming up in the new year, and talking about stuff that people don't want to talk about because shit needs to get talked about. Okay, life is hard at times, and when we keep it all inside, when we don't share our thoughts, when we don't connect with other people that are going through similar situations, it makes life a lot more difficult. We can feel isolated. So my goal, my purpose in life right now is to just keep talking and keep sharing my stories, keep sharing my highs, keep sharing my lows, to let you all know, no matter what you're going through, you are loved, you are cared for, the world is better because you are here, and I encourage you all to take some time and be mindful today and every day. And I will be sharing for the next 8 days, my 8 days of Christmas. I'm going to share my top 8 picks from my YouTube channel or my Spotify, my podcast, and I'm going to be resharing those for those of you that might have missed them or aren't aware of them. So that's coming up between now and Christmas, and then there'll be a little bit of a pause as we head into the new year, and we'll be back at it full force in the new year. So wishing you all a very, very happy and gentle Monday as we head into the ending of this year. Take care, guys.